Me, Mighty Max Boxing, and today I have a very fun interview. I'm interviewing the one and only up-and-coming prospect, Gabriel Muratalla. Thank you so much for coming on, champ. How have you been? How has training been for you?
Oh man, I'm doing amazing right now. Training camp already started. It's going excellent.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on for sure. What is your next move? Are you trying to get? I actually saw that you actually have a fight coming up at the end of November. Can you tell us a little bit about that fight?
Yeah, that one is gonna be on Pro Box. It's on November 29th, and it'll be located in Florida. So very excited
Awesome,
about that
awesome.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Florida, so hopefully I could see if I can find a way to get out there. Where in Florida is it?
Oh, how cool. I don't know location yet. That will be my first time fighting there, so we're definitely gonna get more info soon.
Yeah, hopefully it's in my area because I'll definitely see if I can go to it for sure. I want to ask, how did you get into the sport of boxing? What was your introduction to the sport?
Oh, getting into the sport, my dad's a huge boxing fan. And I believe when I was 10 years old, he threw me and my brother in the boxing gym here in Fontana, and we tried it out for a little bit, and then we kind of started liking it. So the our coach at the time, Frank, he's like, you guys are pretty good. Let's start sparring. We start sparring. He spars us with like some champion, and I get beat up so bad, I start crying. Now, first time I cry in a fight. And ever since then, we I didn't like losing. So me and my brother too, like he did decent his first sparring. I got beat up. So I didn't like it. So I just continued doing it and eventually started sparring that same champion kid again and started doing the best, started getting better and started beating him up. So now ever since then, that's how I just stuck with the game, and now it's come to a point where I'm just focused now.
It's awesome that you were able to progress and eventually take down that same guy that beat you up bad
Yeah.
apparently the first time you ever sparred in the ring. And your brother's been making some waves lately. He's getting put on these bigger events and he's coming off a very impressive victory. How is it like having a brother who is rising up the ranks, is very into it, is doing the same sport as you and pushing you? How is it like having him?
Oh man, I love it. I don't think I would continue doing boxing if it wasn't for my brother. He's so much motivation, and I just know he's already gonna be up there a champion one day. I'm the older brother. I had a few setbacks, but I know I'm gonna get to that point very soon.
For sure, for sure. And I saw that you're actually a preschool teacher, which is very rare. I've never heard of a boxer who's also a teacher. And I know that you're also in boxing classes as well. Can you tell us just how it is for you being so into helping people get better just in general at all different aspects and maybe even becoming a trainer some point down the line for you?
Yeah, yeah. 100%. I genuinely like just helping others, and especially kids. Something in me is just knows kids, they don't have any bad intentions, and I love that about children. They can learn so much. So yeah, being a preschool teacher, definitely love doing it. And it's transitioning now to boxing lessons. I am a trainer now for smaller kids, also adults, but I am doing more children. And in my backyard, I have a boxing ring. I have bags. Everything is legit. So it's kind of my own boxing school here. And yeah, this is something that I'm truly love doing.
How do you balance fighting and being a teacher?
That's a hard one. So usually it's preschools during the day. Um, I have my 4-year-olds and my 3-year-olds in the class, about 15 to 20 students, and then from there, after my work is done, I believe like 3 p.m. I get home, rest a little bit, and that's when I would do my boxing training.
Wow, so that's always on the grind. That's very respectable. Definitely putting the work in. It's definitely going to pay off for sure. Since you're working so much boxing and being a teacher as well, what do you do when you have free time and you're not fighting and you're not being a teacher?
So I have very little time, but I just spend time with my family. I do have a 11-month-old daughter,
Congrats.
and that's my priority. Thank you so much. That's my priority right now. Any free time is to my baby and my wife.
For sure, for sure. And you know, when I was watching earlier in your career, you actually got dropped in one of your first fights, and that's very discouraging for someone early on in their career. And you got hit while you were down. What was your reaction when that happened? How did you react to it? And how were you able to overcome that and end up with the victory that night?
Yeah, that was a pretty intense night. Yeah, at first I didn't know what happened. I thought he kind of pushed me down, and I know the ref was just telling me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I feel great." But after I watched the video, he had long arms and he did hit the back of my head.
Yeah, so
But yeah, I think they considered it a knockdown, and I guess it was a knockdown. I can't say it wasn't, but it was back of the head, which is illegal. And then he hit me again. But I don't know. I think it was just a flash knockout, very quick one. I felt great. I should have probably took my time getting up. I felt I would have been better. I got up pretty quick, but that's just learning, learning through. And I never been through a little knockout, so yeah. After that, I felt good, and I knew he didn't have power. That's why I knew it had to be behind the head, and I kept pushing through that fight. But funny thing with that fight also, after that first round, I tore my bicep.
ooh,
Yep, I tore my bicep on my left hand, and that fight, I kind of was just like blocking and throwing my right. Like
yeah.
majority of the fight, I was just blocking, throwing my right, slipping. That's all I really could do. I couldn't show my skill or anything. But at the end, I got the victory. I had to get surgery. That was like a year layoff that I had to take off, but that was a while ago. So yeah, that little story just gives me motivation that I've been through that and I did that, still victorious, and now I'm 100% ready for anything now.
You know, a lot of fighters would have folded either from the knockdown, getting hit while down, or the injury. And the worst part for you, in my opinion, was that the fight was only 4 rounds, so you didn't have that much time. Your skill gap wouldn't have been able to show as prevalently as if if it was 6 or 8 rounds, it would have been much more comfortable. You would have beaten it much easier. But since it was 4 rounds, you really had to work because of all the the -2 from the knockdown.
Yeah, 100%. You know your stuff. Those 4 rounds, they seem little, but they are tougher because you gotta go very fast through the whole fight.
Yeah, yeah. What would you tell other up and coming fighters, maybe fighters that are earlier on than you, such as amateurs and kids that want to get into the sport? What advice would you give them to succeed in this sport?
Just not giving up. It's a very tough sport. You're gonna get bloody noses. You're gonna get bruises all the time.
Mhm.
You can't give up if you really love it, and you will get somewhere just working hard and yeah, just sticking with it, man. You really can't give up. I know a lot of people they have down days and they stay really down, and that's what kind of gets them out of boxing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Don't get discouraged and just keep pushing through. What's a final message you want to give to the fans watching? Something that they should look out for from you, and also where they can find you on social media.
Um, my main thing is stay in school. Always have that backup plan. I tell all my students, stay in school, I have my degree. I'm just pursuing something that I love and boxing. And as far as my career boxing, I am just waiting for a title shot. I'm ready. I am at a skill level, believe it or not, for a title shot. I'm ready. I'm just waiting for that opportunity. Maybe a few more fights, and I'll definitely get my shot and show these people who I am. All I need is some exposure, and I know I'll blow up one day.
Definitely, I definitely see that happening very soon. And where can they find you on social media?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram, Mr. Gabe123, Mr. Gabe123, Instagram and TikTok.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, champ. Thank you to everyone who watched this video. It was definitely a great interview. Thank you so much,
Heck
guys.
yeah. Yeah, thank you.